For years, Donald Trump has been the one facing affair allegations. But there's another Trump marriage rumor that refuses to disappear. And this time, it's about Melania. According to a story that has circulated since 2017, Melania allegedly had a long-time relationship with Hank Siemers, a security executive at Tiffany Co. in New York.
It is not concern and focus of mine.
So where did this story actually come from? And is there any evidence behind it? The rumor exploded in June 2017, just months after Donald Trump entered the White House. Novelist and playwright Monica Byrne posted a series of tweets containing an extraordinary claim. Word is, for many years, Melania's been having an affair with the head of security at Tiffany's in the Trump Tower lobby. There was one very important problem. Byrne offered no evidence and openly admitted she couldn't identify her source. In fact, she described what she had heard as more of a tip and encouraged journalists to investigate it independently. But Byrne's story went considerably further. She alleged that Donald actually knew about the supposed relationship and claimed the Trumps had reached an arrangement about what would happen after the 2016 election. They had an agreement, written I think, that if DT lost the election, they'd get divorced. But then he won. And that timing immediately gave the internet something to work with. When Donald moved into the White House in January 2017, Melania didn't go with him. Instead, she remained at Trump Tower in New York with their son Barron for nearly 5 months.
My first priority is, to be a mom.
The official explanation was straightforward. Barron was 11, and Melania wanted him to finish his school year in New York without being uprooted midway through it. Donald had publicly said before the move that his wife and son would join him after Barron finished school. But once Byrne's allegations appeared, some people online began connecting Melania's extended stay in New York to another man.
I love my home. I could be in my home all the time.
And eventually that man was publicly identified as Hank Siemers. Siemers wasn't simply a security guard working inside Trump Tower, as some versions of the story would later describe him. He had built a long career in corporate security at Tiffany Co. By 2012, Professional Materials identified him as the company's group director of security worldwide, and he would later hold a vice president level position in global security.
What we do at Tiffany is really to establish a basic security focus.
In other words, he really did work for Tiffany, and Tiffany's famous Fifth Avenue flagship sat directly beside Trump Tower. Then, 2 years after Byrne's tweets, someone else added fuel to the rumor. Noel Casler, a comedian who had worked on productions connected to The Apprentice, made his own allegation about Melania's living arrangements. Melania didn't live with him in Trump Tower either. She lived with her boyfriend, Casler wrote. We had to book the transpo on Apprentice finales and her pickup was not on Fifth Avenue. Casler didn't provide evidence that the boyfriend he referred to was Siemers, but his comment was quickly folded into the existing story. And from there, internet sleuthing went into overdrive.
They had this connection, right? Melania and Hank Siemers.
One particularly strange detail still cited in articles today involves July 2017. Siemers checked in on Facebook from Lahaina, Hawaii on July 3rd. Melania apparently didn't post on her social media accounts between June 29th and July 3rd, returning on July 4th. Some online observers treated the overlapping dates as suspicious. Even Melania's famous Tiffany gift to Michelle Obama on Inauguration Day has been dragged into the theory. The blue box contained a picture frame, but because it came from the company where Siemers worked, some people retroactively treated it as another clue. At that point, however, coincidence was doing a lot of heavy lifting. And that's ultimately the problem with the entire story. Whatever people make of the rumors, one thing hasn't changed. Donald and Melania are still together. And considering how unconventional their marriage has always seemed, that raises a much bigger question. What exactly keeps them together? One big factor keeping them together is their shared values. Melania has said in interviews that, underneath it all, she and Donald, along with her father, come from the same mold. They all care about hard work, family, tradition, and of course an appreciation for quality.
How many carrots is that?
I don't know, I never think about it.
You don't think about carrots?
No.
I bet you do.
Things.
I bet you know exactly how many carrots it is.
I do, actually.
See?
But shared values aren't the whole story. Another key part of their relationship? They both love their alone time. Family expert Mary Jordan told The Guardian that they often spend a lot of time apart, even when they're in the same building. Melania has called herself a loner, and Donald does too. And apparently they're perfectly content with that.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
In interviews, Melania has said things like, "He is a very understanding husband. If I say, I need an hour, I'm going to take a bath, he doesn't have anything against it. He's very supportive." Back in 2016, she told The Washington Post, "We like to do what we like to do, and we give ourselves and each other space. I allowed him to have his passions, and he let me do the same. Independence seems to be key."
I give him my honest advice and honest opinions, and then he does what he wants to do.
Melania has also reportedly put a lot of thought into keeping their marriage strong. She studied Donald's previous relationships and even read all 17 of his books to understand what went wrong. Family expert Jordan explains that Melania shaped herself into the woman Donald wanted by his side, praising him, keeping a small circle of friends, and always looking polished and camera-ready.
He's very passionate about the country. He's one of the best, the most brilliant negotiator mind out there, like genius's mind out there.
Even during a brief early separation, she reportedly stayed true to his preferences, didn't date anyone else, and showed loyalty in ways that mattered to him.
Melania Trump, thank you very much.
And of course, Melania has supported her husband through some of his most controversial moments. From the 2016 campaign onwards, Donald has been known for bold and sometimes false statements. Melania has often defended him publicly. For example, when Donald questioned Barack Obama's birthplace, Melania supported his stance on the Joy Behar show.
It's not only Donald who wants to see it. It's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
Beyond politics, Melania seems to appreciate the lifestyle her marriage provides. Growing up in communist Slovenia, her childhood was far from easy, living in a small apartment with a mother who sewed clothes by hand. Society publicist R. Kuri Hay told the Sunday Times that it's unlikely she'd risk the stability she now has. She grew up in a pseudo-communist, difficult life. When she married, she wanted stability, romantic stability, financial stability, and through it all, the one thing still standing is that marriage.
I made a lot of money myself, so it's like I know how it's to work and what money means.
And yes, finances do play a role. Melania has reportedly renegotiated her prenup several times. High-powered lawyers say she'd do well financially if they ever divorced. But more importantly, sources say she's focused on securing a solid future for their son, Barron. One insider told Page Six, "This is at least the third time Melania has renegotiated the terms of her marital agreement. She is most concerned about maintaining and increasing a substantial trust for their son, Barron." Another source added that there's a specific minimum amount Barron is supposed to receive.
Out and about with Barron. What kind of mom is she?
She's a great mom. She's a really loving, beautiful mom, and there's nothing more important than her son.
Trump family expert Mary Jordan also highlights Melania's influence on Donald's public life. She's often the first person he calls after speeches or rallies, showing just how involved she is behind the scenes. Over the years, she's helped shape his image, from appealing to women voters in 2016 to reportedly advising him in 2024 on how to come across as more presidential.